For millennia, owls have been a part of human culture and mythology, and they have been associated with everything from wise good luck charms to demonic death foreboders. Their peculiar anatomy, which sets them apart from other bird species, may be the source of this appeal. In addition to having highly effective camouflage, owls can rotate their heads, are nocturnal, fly almost silently, and have expressive expressions. The only continent where owls are not found is Antarctica. They are incredibly unusual birds. Here are a few characteristics of these creatures that set them apart. Prepare yourself for some interesting facts. Owls' eyes are actually tubes. The eyes of owls are more like eye tubes than eyeballs. They are enlarged and fixed in place by sclerotic rings, a bony component of the skull. As a result, owls are unable to move or roll their eyes inside of their sockets. That is why the increased neck mobility is important. Like humans, owls have binocular vision, which allows them to view an object simultaneously with both eyes. Due to this, owls are exceptionally good at determining distance, height, and weight. The disadvantage of their exceptional night vision and farsightedness. Owls are farsighted, hence they are unable to perceive items up close. They compensate for this by having philoplumes, tiny feathers that resemble hair, on their beaks and feet, which they use to detect prey when hunting. Finally, owls have 3 eyelids. One is for blinking, one is for sleeping, and one is for keeping their eye tubes clean. They are made to have flexible necks. It's a misconception that owls can turn their necks 360 degrees. The accurate measure is 135 degrees in either direction from facing forward, which is 270 total degrees of movement. Not 360, but certainly nothing to scoff at. This ability is important for the owl because of the immobility of its eyes, and the creature has a number of anatomical adaptations that make it possible. First, owls have 14 vertebrae in their necks, double the number for the average bird. They also have alternative blood vessels routing blood to the head and blood pooling systems to keep blood circulating to and from the brain when neck movements cut off circulation. Their ears are wonky but effective. Despite having incredible vision, owls hunt mostly with their ears. And what makes them so powerful is precisely their obvious flaws. Numerous owl species have ears that are not only positioned asymmetrically on their skulls but also come in a variety of sizes. Due to their ability to hear noises at slightly different times, owls have a remarkable ability to locate sounds. When a sound is equally loud in both ears, an owl knows it has located the source and distance. They can hear even the smallest sound from microscopic prey because of the way that their flattened faces enhance sound as it travels to the ears. Their feathers help them fly silently. Owls are referred to as silent flyers because they need to be entirely silent in order to swoop in on moving prey that is far away. They can do this because of their large, gliding wings, which reduce the amount of flapping that accounts for the majority of flying bird noise. Many owl species have specialized flying feathers that make flapping as silent as possible when it is essential. To lessen turbulence, the leading edges of the primary flight feathers have stiff fringes that resemble comb teeth. Soft fringes that resemble the frayed ends of a torn piece of fabric are present on the trailing edges of the same feathers, greatly reducing any turbulence that may still exist. Below these feathers, the wings of owls are also covered in fine downy feathers that dampen sound even more. They can swivel their toes. Owls have zygodactyl feet, which means that 2 of their toes, toes 2 and 3, point forward and 2 of their toes, toes 1 and 4, point backward. It is best for holding on prey in branches, as observed in woodpeckers and parrots. But in this situation, owls are not helpless. When owls are flying, they have 3 toes in front and 1 in rear because they can swivel their 4th toe in both directions. Owls have the capacity to lock their toes around an object for a grip that is truly extraordinary since it eliminates the need for constant muscle contraction. With little effort, they achieve maximum grip. Not all owls hoot. An owl's voice is typically described as a soft, trembling hoo-hoo. But not even close to all owls sound alike. There is much to hear than the great horned owl's distinctive hoot. For instance, the barn owl makes a harsh shrieking noise that sounds like a door squeaking. The barred owl, on the other hand, makes sounds more like to a horse's neigh than you might anticipate from a bird. To hear just a few of the many unique noises that different owl species produce, watch the video below. Some stick close to the ground. Not all owls soar through the air and build their nests in the hollows of lofty trees. The appropriately named burrowing owl, one of the smallest owl species in North America, is opportunistic and keeps close to the earth. They frequently occupy the burrows abandoned by armadillos, prairie dogs, and squirrels in order to make their nests underground. But if needed, they'll excavate their own dwellings. Animal feces is frequently used by burrowing owls to line the entrance to their tunnels. This is a clever hunting technique since manure attracts insects that the owl can then eat. They are symbolic. Owls have deep symbolic importance in many different civilizations, and their significance varies widely. The most well-known owl symbolism is that of wisdom, which is found throughout Western tradition and even popular culture, such as Winnie the Pooh. This is probably due to the way it hunts, which is shrewd and methodical. The owl is associated with knowledge and death in Native American culture. Its hoot is thought to bring bad luck. The snow owl is considered to be Athena, the goddess of war, sacred animal in Greek mythology. It was seen as evidence of her presence whenever the bird was seen on the battlefield. A group of owls is called a parliament. One interesting fact is that when a group of owls congregates, it is referred to as a parliament, a congress, or, less frequently, a stare. Although the term's official origin is uncertain, it may have something to do with the fact that owls are revered for their wisdom and expertise, just as one might anticipate a group of government officials to be. According to one source, the fictional owl gathering described in C.S. Lewis' Chronicles of Narnia is where the phrase owl parliament first appeared. Owls like to borrow nests. Owls are not very good at making their own nests. Instead, they prefer to take over those that have already been established by other birds, such as crow, hawk, or even squirrel nests. Some choose to build their nests in tree crotches or cavities where they can find protection. Others, like elf owls, choose to do it in saguaro cacti where woodpeckers have already drilled holes. Some treeless owls use burrows, as previously mentioned, or they may choose to nest directly on the ground. Owls engage in slow courtship. To mate, owls must get past their innate fear of one another. The San Diego Zoo claims that males present a female, who is typically considerably larger, with offerings to reassure her of his intentions. He could also execute a flying trick-filled sky dance. It can take her a few hours to get over her first dread of him and approach him close enough to mate. The two owls then spend a lot of time grooming one another's feathers. Number of babies depends on food supply. The availability of food determines how many eggs an owl will deposit during a certain season. An owl could fail to lay even one egg if food sources are scarce. In other years, a mother owl can produce 1 to 14 eggs. Various species lay varying amounts of eggs. The mother sheds feathers from her belly during incubation so that she may press her warm skin against the egg surface to keep them even warmer. Within 3 to 5 weeks of the eggs being placed, the baby owls, or owlets, will hatch in the sequence in which they were laid. The term asynchronous hatching describes this. Owls range in size. Owls can be extremely small or very big and imposing. The elf owl, which stands about 6 inches tall and weighs 1.5 ounces, is the tiniest owl. It resides in Mexico and the southwest United States and resembles a sparrow. The largest owl is the Blakiston's fish owl, which has a wingspan of 6.5 feet and weighs 6 to 8.8 pounds. It can be found in Hokkaido, Japan, China, and Russia, and as its name says, it consumes fish. Owls do not chew their food. To chew its prey, owls' beaks are toothless. Instead, they ingest it whole or in big portions. Anything that cannot be digested, including its bones, fur, and insect exoskeletons, becomes oval-shaped pellets once within the stomach. These are frequently found accumulating under an owl's nest and are regurgitated when the owl sleeps during the day. These pellets give biologists a wealth of knowledge about owl food when they are investigated. Some species are declining. There are about 250 different species of owls in the globe, but sadly not all of them are doing well. Numerous owl species are classified as near threatened, endangered, or severely endangered on the IUCN Red List. The snowy owl, the spotted owl, a few pygmy owls, and other significant at-risk species include these. For suggestions on assisting conservation and protection initiatives, keep reading.